Well, hello everyone, it's Catherine. I'm bringing something super huge to you tonight. It's about emotions. Who has ever felt like your emotions were running the show all day long and you felt like a leaf in the wind? Didn't know if depending on the events in your life, you didn't know what would happen and if you would how you would respond and if you would have the energy to go through your life. Hey everyone, this is an English one. I'll do a French one afterwards, so don't worry. So talking about emotions. Hey Frank. Emotions are so powerful, and this is the common denominator for everything in your life and in your health. Negative emotions can really have a strong impact on your health. So negative emotions being like shame, anger, anxiety, fear, hatred, sadness. So these negative emotions will create a lot of stress in your body, in your mind, in your life, and negative emotions are a major source of stress. And why do we care about stress? We think, oh yeah, everybody's stressed out. Yeah, and it's not normal. That 3/4 of the adult population in North America experience psychological symptoms from stress, such as depression, anxiety, and I don't know if you've noticed, I know that when I used to be a nurse practitioner, I've noticed that prescription of antidepressants were like skyrocketing. And there's no judgment in this, but maybe you or someone you know has been prescribed an antidepressant to deal with depression, anxiety, or to get you through like a grieving period in your life, or a major illness that was taking your mood down. So you probably, if you're taking antidepressants, again, no judgment, just loving compassion brought to you guys, but you probably know deep down that this is not a long-term solution, right? And what if the long-term solution was to rather work on the emotions? Because here's the thing, there's this word that keeps on coming back into my life. When I used to study as a nurse practitioner back in 2009, there was this big word, salut Jean-François, big word that, bear with me, it seems complex, but it's really simple. It just kept popping in my mind all the time. So it's psychoneuroimmunology. So it's the impact of your psyche on your immune and endocrine system. So your immune system are your little soldiers, fighting against infections, bacteria, viruses. Your endocrine system is all the organs that are secreting hormones to make sure that everything is working well in your body, whether it's thyroid, adrenals, for cortisol, you name them. So it's the impact of your psyche on the immune system and the endocrine system via the nervous system, central nervous system. So there's a multi-directional system of communication that links all these different systems. So we know that psychological stress, whether it's acute or chronic, can increase the severity and the length of infectious diseases such as Lyme disease, right? Lyme is such a complex illness of infectious diseases. I know that, for myself and having coached a lot of people with Lyme, that when we don't address the stress in their life or the mindset, the emotional component, Lyme is going to linger through the suppression of the immune system. So psychological stress, especially chronic, will increase the severity and the length of infectious diseases. It can prolong the healing of wounds because, again, the immune system is being inhibited by the stress. And it can also reactivate viruses that are inside of you. So this is a big deal. And we know that through the science of psychoneuroimmunology, through the research, we know that negative emotions can create or sustain or maintain physical illnesses. the good news is when we're able to transcend these negative emotions into positive emotions, we know that there's a potential to, salut Jimmy, there's a potential to improve the functioning of the immune system and, heal illnesses faster. And the immune system also protects you against cancers, because it's the immune system that keeps on, guarding what kind of cells are produced in your body. And any cell that's abnormal, the immune system will pick them up and sacrifice them, throw them in the garbage. And we produce around 200,000 cancerous cells a day, right? So we want a strong immune system. And there's more to this. Get that. This is so fascinating. 80% of the immune system is in the gut, in the microbiome, the good, friendly bacteria in your gut. And you've probably heard about your belly being the emotional brain. So if negative emotions, have the power to negatively affect your immune system, and that the emotional brain happens to contain 80% of your immune system, wouldn't it make sense to take care of your emotions, to have an emotional hygiene every day and learn how to harness the power of your emotions to create what you want in your life intentionally, right? So anyways, I could go on and on about this, but this is so fascinating because it brings the science and the science of health and the more kind of the emotional component of how to deal with your emotions. And this is what I do with my coaching clients and also for myself. I used to be kind of a leaf in the wind, astray to my emotions. If something would happen, I'd feel crappy for hours or days or even weeks, kind of ruminating, like bringing back the past, right? So how many of you have ever felt this way, like your boss tells you something and it guts you, right? Or you get into a fight with your spouse and you kind of just, you have this crappy feeling on and on and on for hours, for days, for weeks, for months, sometimes for years, right? So this is a big deal, because what if you could learn to transform and transcend those emotions in the moment, like know how to flip them around and work on the bigger picture of, what determines your emotions. So here's the kind of the recipe. The meaning that you give to an event in your life. So what something means will determine how it feels in you. And then how it feels will determine the physical sensations that you'll get. And then that'll determine your course of action. So what if we could go back and change the meaning of the events in your life in such a way that it would bring on and change the meaning for you, like in a field of infinite possibilities. The same event could mean two different things to different people. It's just about going and looking at your programming and your beliefs and honestly changing the BS story that you've been telling yourself for so long. And it might seem hard, but it's not. It really isn't. It's just a habit. It's like, getting into a habit of going to bed early. It's just a habit. The way we think is just a habit. So we can change that. It doesn't have to be hard. So working with changing the meaning of how something feels, what something means will change how it feels, and then it'll change your course of action so that you can live with much more intention. You can live with a lot more empowerment and control in your life so that you can live your best life with the most energy, feeling confident, motivated, excited about your project, your passions, excited about being with your favorite people, and really live your life by your own design and not with the way that you would want others, that others wanted you to live, right? So, hey, Sarah, it's good to have you here. So anyways, I've got an upcoming course that I'm so excited to teach you guys. This is bringing together, I'm just finishing a neuroscience course, and just bringing together all of my experience, both, you know, as a past nurse practitioner, my personal experience with emotions, and it's truly something to empower you to create your life, to accelerate the healing of illness, if there's any illness in your body, to create healthy relationships, to feel the mojo back in your life, right? To put your projects and passions back in forward momentum. So this is going to be a program. It's coming up in about 2 weeks. It's called Daily Antidote for Low Energy, Lack of Self-Esteem, and Lack of Motivation. And we're going to discuss all of these things, bringing the science and the art behind that so that you can create your life by design. Thanks, Jean-Francois. Anyways, stay tuned. This is coming up in about 2 weeks. I'll be posting some news about it. But in the meantime, I would love for you to become even more aware of your emotions on a daily basis. Like, you know, if something happens and then you feel kind of, you know how when you feel the power is leaving you, a situation happens or you're triggered by something, just stay with it. Just be aware of what's going on in your body and your mind, and be willing to sit with that emotion and hear its message. Most people don't want to feel their emotions, and this is in part creating a lot of problems, because when you don't want to feel your emotions, you grip onto them and they stay trapped in your energy centers, and they can create emotional illness through Psychoneuroimmunology and also the science of epigenetic that I'm going to talk to you about in that program, and probably in a future video. So be willing to sit with the emotion, hear the message, ask the emotion, what is your message? And then ask yourself, what do you want in that moment? And what do you need to believe in order to give yourself what you want? Because this is really, really important. So anyways, thanks for being here. I'm going to do the same thing in French now, because I want to be sure to include all of you guys. Thanks for being here. Love you. And be a master of your emotions. It's important for your health and your life. Take care. Bye.